Welcome to the Full Moon Film Buff, episode 190. We're going to discuss Blood of the Werewolf. It was released in 2001. I rented this from Scarecrow Video, and I had not seen this before. As always, here we start with the prominent crew and cast. You can always find links to a more complete credit list in the show notes. This was directed by Joe Bagnardi, Bruce G. Hallenbeck, and Kevin J. Lindenmuth. It was written by Stephen C. Seward, with special effects makeup artist as Mike Strain Jr. We first discussed Kevin Lindenmuth and Mike Strain Jr. when we covered Rage of the Werewolf. There is not a lot of information that I could find about Joe Bagnardi, Bruce Hallenbeck, and Stephen Seward. The cast includes Helen Black as Granny Radford, Mia Borelli as Roberta, Sasha Graham as Charlene, Bruce G. Hallenbeck as the Man, and Mary Kay Hilco as Jane Bradford. Sasha Graham also appeared in Rage of Werewolf, and again, there's not a lot of information out there about Helen Black, Mia Borelli, or Mary Kay Hilco. No, I do not recommend this anthology. Each of the three shorts is built on an intriguing idea, but each one is executed poorly. So let's cover the synopsis. Blood Reunion is where a horror writer, Edward Sparrow, returns home to romance an old flame, Jane Radford. Her religious zealot of a grandma hides a family curse and emotionally abuses and dominates Jane. Stray animals end up mutilated, and it turns out Jane is a werewolf and doesn't know it. Granny has been protecting/covering for her. Jane decides to leave town with Edward, and this goes very poorly, with Jane killing 3 drunks and biting Edward before Granny kills Jane with a silver crucifix. Edward becomes a werewolf serial killer. In Old Blood, Charlene begs Roberta, her lesbian werewolf lover, to turn her into a werewolf as well. It turns out Roberta wants freedom from her curse, and the only way to do it is to pass the curse on to Charlene and then kill Charlene in a ritual. In Man Beast, a man flees unseen hunters through the woods in an interminable chase. They very much want to milk the surprise twist where this is a were-man running from wolfmen. But since they can't show the hunters' faces for the absurdly long chase time, it quickly becomes obvious and boring. Oh, look, the transformations, well, there are no transformations. The werewolves just show up on screen. The werewolf in Blood Reunion, it is just a cheap mask. No changes to any other body parts. The rat-wolf hybrid in Old Blood is hilariously bad, made me laugh out loud. The final reveal of Man Beast is the best look. It felt very inspired by the old school Wolfman look. But we get maybe 2 minutes of them. Not near enough. Finally, here's my real issue with analyzing shorts like this. It's just eclectic indie lore. There's no rules. They don't have time to establish rules. It's just vibes. Regarding themes, I know I'm grasping at straws here, but 2 of the shorts in Blood of the Werewolf do use lycanthropy as a metaphor for hereditary curses, unspoken family secrets, and inherited traumas that ripple through generations. And the themes are fine, even if the shorts are a little boring. The stories emphasize lycanthropy as an inherited condition passed down through bloodlines rather than random bites or curses from folklore. This framing casts the werewolf not as an external predator, but an internal familial burden, a secret that families must guard, deny, or reluctantly embrace, much like alcoholism, abuse, mental illness, or hidden shame of real-world lineages. Blood Reunion exemplifies this dynamic most clearly. A horror writer returns to his small hometown hoping to rekindle a childhood romance, only to confront an atmosphere of repression. The object of his affection remains under the thumb of her domineering, religiously zealous grandmother who cloaks the family's lycanthropic legacy in moral warnings and pious control. The curse hides behind religious zealotry. The grandmother's fanaticism is about enforcing silence around the family's monstrous inheritance. The secret festers beneath layers of denial and control, erupting in violence that threatens to expose everything, which is unfruitful. Grandma should just have been honest here. In Old Blood, the metaphor shifts towards inheritance. The story centers on a woman in a lesbian relationship with a shapeshifter who pleads to be turned, to join her lover in the curse. The lesbian werewolf ends up using her lover to escape the family curse. The segment implies these werewolves descended from an ancient line that arrived in America centuries earlier, injecting a subtle colonial undercurrent here. The Old Blood carries not just monstrosity, but the weight of historical displacement, survival, and adaptation, passed down like unresolved settler's guilt or inherited privilege. Across these tales, Blood of the Werewolf tries to transform the classic monster into something more intimate. Dysfunctional family drama with fur. The horror lies not in the gore or the full moon, but in the inescapable ties of blood. the secret parents keep from children, and the choices descendants make about whether to perpetuate or confront the curse head on. So if you like lycanthropes, like, share, and subscribe. Contribute your thoughts and additional observations in the comments below. Let me know what I missed or what you noticed. Next, I plan to discuss the sphere of the lycanthrope from 2009. Keep your eye on the moon, a silver bolt in the chamber, and we'll see you back next episode.